Alright, so here I am. It's been 15 months of ownership. I did an impromptu review about 2 or 3 months after I first bought the bike, but I've now had the bike for 15 months, and I've got quite a few kilometers on it. Let's check actually. I have, see that, 10,042 kilometers in 15 months. So I rode this bike every day for 15 months here in southern Ontario. I bought the bike in May of 2023, and now it's October 2024. I rode the bike in all weather conditions. I rode it in rain. I rode it in some extreme rain, thunderstorms. I rode it in snow when it was snowing many times. I rode it in one snowstorm, which was absolutely harrowing. My back tire was just sliding all over the place. These tires are now done. I'm actually getting a new set of rubber put on next Saturday. I decided to go with the Dunlop Mutants because these tires are down to the wear bars. There's only about 1 millimeter left, I think. And the Dunlop Mutant tires are all seasons, whereas these are more sport bike tires, these Metzelers. These are my Pazzo shifters that I bought. Freaking love these things. I love the color too. I think it really suits the style of this bike, that retro vibe. You know, it's funny, when I first bought this bike, the first thing I wanted to do was to remove these halogen bulbs and put in LEDs. But I'm so glad I didn't, because the halogen bulbs just suit the bike. The LEDs don't suit this style of bike. I'm going to talk about the new bike in a second, the new 2024 model. But yeah, the LEDs just don't suit this style of bike. I think that the LEDs suit the new style. The new style 2024 looks a lot more modern. They really lost the retro vibe, I personally feel. I went to the dealership 2 or 3 weeks ago to get an oil change, and I sat on the new bike, and I don't know, man. I don't like the fact that they moved away from the spoked rims and then went with just alloy rims, which is cool because now they're tubeless, and this bike has tubes, which I don't really like. The rubber's just kind of soft, but I really like the spokes. I know a lot of people didn't like having the rotor on this side of the bike, but I actually do like having the rotor on this side of the bike. I'll tell you why. Most of the time I look at my bike, or anybody looks at a motorcycle, I don't know if you've noticed this, but most people like to look at it from this side of the bike. And when you've got spoked wheels, the last thing you want is for a rotor to block that view. Hold on, my camera's saying something. Anyhow, never mind. So yeah, I actually like the quirkiness of it being on the left side, while the rotor for the rear tire is on the right side. And I just like the way it looks. I just really like looking at that front tire. But anyhow, yeah, so I'm glad I didn't go with the LEDs. The new bike also, the 2024 model, just looks bigger and heavier, and they kind of went away from the retro vibe. They went with more of a mainstream look, which I totally get. They want to sell more bikes. But the new bike is definitely bigger. It felt heavier. I don't know if it is. But I'm so glad I got this year's model, like the 2023 model, because I just think this bike just looks freaking awesome, man. I love this bike so much. I've had a bunch of other bikes, But I don't know what it is about this thing. I just love jumping on it and taking off. It is the perfect bike if you just want to bomb around town. If you're going to go on the highway a lot, you probably want something different. I don't do a lot of highway riding anymore, but if you're just bombing around town, trying to get stuff done really quickly, this bike is just so light and flickable, and it just looks so cool. I don't know how many times I've been at a traffic light and some dude beside me starts talking to me about my bike, asking me what it is. Here's the lame side of the bike. I know some people might like this side, but I don't. What can I talk about? I'm glad to be getting rid of these sport bike tires. I don't really like them. They don't inspire a lot of confidence. They're definitely very slippery right now because they're done. I don't know how many heat cycles I've had on these things, but they're toast, especially riding it through the winter when it was like up to minus 15, even higher, I think, Celsius. So the rubber's definitely done. As you can tell, I haven't washed the bike. I've only washed this bike actually twice. I know, I hate to say that, but it's true. See how dirty it is? Oh, she's a dirty little girl. She is a dirty, dirty little girl. Really like these mirrors a lot. So glad I got these. They definitely have, they suit the bike, the squared off edges. I don't like round mirrors. I don't think they suit this bike. These are definitely the mirrors to get. There's not a lot of screen real estate, but I'll tell you, they look cool. But you can definitely see with them. You just have to keep looking down, which kind of sucks when you want to see what's coming up behind you when you're sitting at a traffic light. Yeah, I'd like to get rid of that exhaust actually. It just covers up those beautiful spokes. Let's get some close-ups here. Oh, now my battery's dying on my phone, I think. Oh well, see how long I can go. Those are the holes for where the original stock mirrors were. I had little caps that I put in there I found in my miscellaneous screw box, but somehow they disappeared. I think they just flew out. I've got this little camera mount here, phone mount. It's adjustable. Anyhow, I really don't know what else to say. Sorry about my congestion. I just got over a flu a few days ago. It's a little stuffed up. It's a cool headlight at the front. I wish this thing had a little bit more power. I mean, for my needs, it's absolutely perfect, but when I'm on the highway, which I'm not on very often, I'd like to have a little bit more power. But I can live without it. I've oiled this chain so many times. I use an 80 weight oil. I don't like those spray cans. I just use a heavy weight oil. It does the trick. Chain's been great. I've had to put in about half a liter of oil in the bike since I bought it. I tend to redline my gears quite often. I ride this bike really hard. But I haven't had any oil leaks. I'll tell you one thing. This gauge cluster is pretty much useless. I almost never use it. The buttons are incredibly hard to press. I've got very strong hands, but these buttons are freaking hard to press. I just use it to check what gear I'm in from time to time and to know when I need fuel. I put a 93 octane in it. Oh, I can't wait to get my new Dunlops. The Dunlop Mutant. Check them out. They're pretty cool. Now, maybe I'm getting these new tires put on next Saturday, so maybe I'll just go do a burnout with these somewhere. I'm at a cemetery right now, so it's probably very disrespectful to do a burnout at a cemetery. So I'll just go find some industrial area and do it. I'll be riding this again throughout this winter. Hopefully we don't get too much snow. That's another reason why I got the Mutants. I don't think they'll really help me in snow, but they'll definitely help me when it's like wet. There's a lot of sleet outside. Yeah, that so the reason why I got caught in this snowstorm is I live right by the lake. And I looked out the window, I forget, it was sometime in January, February, can't remember. And I looked out the window and it was just raining, so I was like, okay, cool. Jumped on my bike. I was heading north. I was on my way to work. And the rain turned into sleet. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I've ridden in sleet many times. And then the sleet turned into snow, which is fine. I've ridden in snow many times. Kept heading north. And then the snow turned into a fucking snowstorm. And I was so close to my destination. I was like, oh my God, do I keep going? Or do I stop? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep going. And I needed fuel. So I thought, you know what? I'll stop at the gas station. Maybe that'll help me add some weight to the bike. And filled up, and it made it worse. My back tire was just sliding everywhere. For some reason, I was putting all my weight down on the front tire. I managed to keep this thing planted, but the back tire was everywhere. It was just fishtailing all over the place. I can't believe I didn't crash. I finally got to my destination, and as I was turning into the parking lot, I didn't see it, but there was one of those square manhole covers. It was completely covered with snow. I wasn't actually turning into the destination I was going to. I was turning into a parking lot beside the destination I was going to. I was like, okay, this is close enough. I'm done. So as I was pulling in, I didn't see it, but that manhole cover, that square manhole cover with the linear, the grates that are like linear, was covered in snow, and I didn't see it. So I went to go turn on it, and boom, the bike went down, landed on its right side. I was fine. I stood up. There's a dude behind me. People were probably thinking this guy's nuts. Anyhow, this dude behind me got out of his car and helped me put the bike up. And I got the bike up and I just walked into the parking lot, shut it off, And then about 6 hours later came back out to ride my bike home. By that time it just playing around with the zoom. I just got this new gimbal, this new 360 Insta360 Flow Pro, so I'm just learning how to use it right now. So I went to start up my bike. It was just raining at that time, and I started the bike and just think, okay, everything was normal, and I put it into gear. I pull away and the throttle stays locked. And so what happened was, this little screw right in here, that little screw right there, bent because it landed right there. And thankfully I decided to go with the shorty for my brake lever, and so that didn't get damaged. So I had to actually, the whole way home, every time I shifted, I had to, because it would stick like this, it wouldn't snap back, right? So I had to like go like this and then turn it back, go like this, turn it back, and oh my god. A couple times I forgot and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And anyhow, got home and I pulled the bolt out and it was bent, and I had another one. And so because I had bought I actually bought 2 sets of these mirrors because a dude in a Jeep hit my bike when it was parked and knocked the bike over. And so I had to order another set. So luckily I had another bolt. And I put that in and boom, problem fixed. Snapped back perfectly, the throttle. Yeah, but other than that, the bike's been just bulletproof. I can't believe it. I thought, going with the Husqvarna, I thought for sure I'm gonna have problems. Something's gonna go on this bike, because I usually ride Japanese bikes, right? I've ridden, 3 Yamahas, 1 Honda, and a Suzuki. And I thought, oh my god. But, I bought this for $8,600 out the door, taxes in, freight, delivery, the whole bit. 8,600 Canadian, which is like, I don't know what that is US, but it's freaking not a lot for a brand new bike. So I thought this thing's gonna bust for sure at some point. It hasn't, and I've ridden this thing through an entire winter. This thing's been snowed on. I bought a bike cover for it, but then I just got tired of putting it on. I'm like, fuck it, just let it get rained on, let it get snowed on. I didn't care, and just dusted it off. I have a little towel with me, would wipe it off, and bike started up. I decided to go with a 5W50 weight oil for the winter. I think that's what I went with, 5W50. Because I think this bike uses a 10W something 50. Can't remember exactly. So it'll be better for the engine when it's starting up in like -15, -20 Celsius. Yeah, I know a lot of people thought I was nuts for riding in that weather, but you know what? It's not bad. If you dress really warm, I mean, I'm an all-season rider. I don't care about weather. I get on my bike, I go. I'm not like one of these guys that are fair weather riders, like it has to be beautiful outside to ride. You're missing out on so much fun. Riding in the rain is fine if you're dressed well. Riding in wind, riding in snow, it's beautiful. Like the things you see, the things you smell, the experience you have, like it's made me so much of a better rider, riding this thing throughout the winter. And granted, I'm still alive to tell the tale, but let's look at the lame side of the bike. I think the reason why on the 2024 model they wouldn't put the rotor on the right side is because they went with the alloy wheels, so there was really no need to keep it on the left side, because who cares? No need to see. There's no more spoked wheels on the new ones, so not sure what else to say. Chipped my paint the day I bought the bike when I was taking the sticker off. I was just being lazy. heating it up before I peeled it. I've had no electrical problems. I haven't had any coolant leaks, no oil leaks. Chain's been good. Brakes have been good. Actually, I don't like the brakes on this bike. I thought with this bike weighing only in at what, 330 pounds? You know, I thought, okay, that rotor should be enough. But I wish they went with dual rotors on this bike, because I like to ride hard. I like to brake late and hard. And man, I just don't feel confident with these brakes for some reason. I don't know. They're Justin Bieber brakes, or Burby, whatever the hell they're called. Bieber, Justin Bieber. There they are. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the front brakes. I've never used the rear brake. I think I've used it I probably have used it just to check it out. Where is it? Oh, there it is. That's the rear brake. So that's what that's for. I don't know. I know you're supposed to use it sometimes, but no, I don't. I can't be bothered. Oh my God, I think my phone's about to die. Okay. There's really not much else to talk about.